to listen to it again and get something special from it, and I'm happy to share that with you as well, okay? I will not be recording our coaching calls. That is a very safe place. That's a place where you're able to kind of share your fears, frustrations, but more so just because it's a place that when you're coaching, sometimes you're a little more vulnerable. What we'll be doing in this class is I will be training. So for those of you that maybe want to know the difference between training, mentoring, and coaching, training is basically teaching. I'm going to be telling you how to do it. Mentoring is when we do it alongside of each other, and coaching is where you take what you know and figure out how it's going to work for you. I'm looking at Terry Selleck, and I know that Terry's been around for a while, and Terry, I admire her highly. In fact, one of my most memorable experiences at DCD was my very first PLCs, and Terry spoke, and Terry had been through a lot that year with her husband's loss of job, her working in the middle of the night. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Terry, but I think I'm getting this still straight from, this will be 4 PLCs ago. And I want you to know you can overcome, just like Karen Griffin is doing today. She's calling from a hospital bed. I mean, that is dedication. So when you're having a moment of weakness, you know, think about what.
We're doing fine.
I went away for a second. I don't know what happened. It just, connecting, that's never happened in all the years I've been using. So I just want to let you know that we are, you know, here to support each other, and we'll be looking for things. But I'll be training in these classes. There won't be a lot of interaction because we are on that 1 hour time frame, lunch hour, trying to get it all done, where we'll really get to visit and get to know each other and explore what you want to be better at is going to be in our coaching group. So in an email I sent you, I want each of you to, it's not mandatory, but who came to this call because they want to get the most out of it? If you want to get the most, sign up for a coaching group, because that is where you're going to get the most, not from doing it, just showing up and listening. I have someone on an iPhone, and for whatever reason, I'm not able to mute you. I'm getting some really bad feedback. So if you don't mind, it just says iPhone. I don't know who it is. I think you're on video, actually. Okay, so let's get started here. So you'll make sure you sign up. It's first come, first serve on our training. So yes, I get a little older. So first off, I want to just talk to you as your friend, and I need to ask you to trust me. That's a big request because some of you have never even met me before. But I'm going to ask you to really trust me for over the next 6 weeks as we go through this. It would be detrimental to me to lead you astray. I am going to share with you proven techniques, things I will promise you probably nothing is original. I've been in this industry almost 27 years now. I started, my kids were 4 months, 2 and 4. My baby is 26 and a half years old, and I started on February 12th, so you can see. And what I bring to you are tried and true practices, but that are constantly being updated because of modern technology, the way the world works. When I started this industry, there was probably only 40 or 50 home party companies. There's probably 400 now. So we have to change, don't we? I'm looking at Phoenix right now. Phoenix has been in the industry a long time. She knows the same thing, just like I was pointing out with Terry. Many of you know that. So we have to change with our world, but the practices can remain very much the same. So please trust me. I'm not going to ask you. Now, I'm also going to be setting expectations. Expectations are things to strive for. It doesn't mean you're a failure if you don't hit them or they don't fit your life today. I had someone share with me, and it broke my heart because I never want this to happen. And honestly, I'm a pretty, I can be a hard-nosed person, y'all are going to learn, but I do have a heart, and I do have a sensitivity as well. But I learned yesterday that there was a girl that got a little offended because she felt like she failed when I talked about striving to do 3 parties a week because she knew in her life she couldn't. My message wasn't you're a failure if you don't. My message is if you want to get up here, that's the best way to do it. but it doesn't mean it's the only way, and it certainly doesn't mean all of you are going to. If everyone in our business was doing 3 parties a week, everyone on your block would know about Dove. So I want you to know there's many ways, but I'm going to share with you. I'm the girl. I held, are you ready for this? And don't let it freak you out. I held 5 to 7 parties a week when I was an independent. But it was my full-time job, and I wanted to make big money. I didn't want to just make money. I wanted to make big money. And within 2 years, I was making a 6-figure income on a crappy comp plan. Today, if you're holding 3 parties a week and using the tools that you get here, I can tell you, you too can be making 6 figures in 2 years. With just 3 parties, you don't have to do 5 to 7. Honestly, I can't show you how to make 6 figures in 2 years on 1 party a week. Not saying it's not possible. I just don't know how to show it to you. So that's the cool thing about this business. Some of you may be really happy with $500 a month. Here's my thing. If that's your goal, make sure every single month you make $500 in. Because I want you to be happy. I want you to feel successful every single time the word Dove Chocolate Discoveries comes out of your mouth. That's what this business is all about. I can't imagine what my life would be like had I not had this. This is all I've ever done in my entire adult life. Started when I was 25 years old, single. I'm not a single mom. Kind of felt like a single mom. But I was a young mom with my children's dad was in the restaurant business, my ex. And he was never home. We had 1 car. I could tell you, I walked 6 miles in the snow to school, but I live in Texas, so that didn't really happen. But my career kind of was like that. But you know what? The lady saw in me that introduced me to my first business, which was Tupperware, was she didn't see a girl that didn't have a car. She saw a girl that needed a car. She didn't see a girl that had 3 kids under the age of 5 and had just moved from Canada to Texas and only knew 4 people, and she'd never be able to do this. She saw a girl that needed to get out of the house before she went stir crazy because she was vacuuming twice a day. She didn't see someone that didn't know a babysitter. She saw, we'll find a babysitter when you find a party. That's what she told me. I said, I don't know who's going to keep my kids. She goes, get a party and we'll figure it out. I said, I don't know how I'm going to get to the party. Get a party and we'll figure it out. That's what we did. And that's why I'm here today. And that's why I'm so passionate about this business and about sharing. And I think recruiting is the biggest gift you can give anyone. And if you don't believe this, you need to take a checkup from the neck up, as my mentor used to say to me. Check your attitude. In your heart, you've got to believe there's nothing better. Nothing better than this business opportunity. Because when you sincerely believe that, others will believe it with you and you'll succeed. I don't have to worry about making my recruiting goals because I'm so excited to help others. I do not recruit for me. I recruit for others. Just like Marilyn Harris did for me. She didn't think I need a recruit to get to Maui or I need a recruit to get a car. She said that little girl that's only 25 years old who doesn't have a college degree and has 3 kids under the age of 5 and doesn't know a soul, she needs a life. She needs money. She needs to meet people. She has a lot to offer. She's got a good personality. She saw things in me that I didn't see in myself, and she showed me how to really, really make it happen. So throughout this, we're going to talk about, this is not in your book, this is Lori theology, and you're going to learn, I try to keep things really simple. Me plus 3. Jean Parker, Terry Selleck are probably the only 2 that I'm looking through the names that were around when we were on the Me plus 3 campaign. Remember, we even had the Jackson 5 song, ABC, Me plus 3. Well, to me, that is so simple that we should always stay focused. So here's what I believe. If you want to have, you want to strive for the Olympics, you want to strive for the gold medal, doesn't mean, hey, how many people actually get a gold medal? Lots of people strive and succeed in many ways. So write this down. Me plus 3 parties every week.
What was it?
Me plus 3 parties every week. Me plus 3 cocoa chats every week. You might be getting that thing. It's all going to be me plus 3, so you don't have to write that every time. Me plus 3 recruits every month. Me plus 3 leaders every quarter. I saw you, Jean. I saw that face. Sounds a lot, but if you were doing 3 parties and 3 cocoa chats and 3 recruits, it's going to start to happen because others are too. Me plus 3 managers every year. And most importantly, me plus 3 teaching 3 to do the same every year. Right. Now, you've recruited 36 people. If you've recruited 3 a month, all I said was find 3 of those that are willing to do what you're willing to do. Remember, this is the Olympics, but this is that I want to make big money. Who here, if you want to be really honest, would love to make big money? Anybody besides me like big money? I love big money. You know what? You can do a lot. Big money is not a bad thing. I want to make sure everybody knows money is not bad. It doesn't mean you're selfish. You know, I'm going to share with you. One of the coolest things I ever got to do was about 8 or 10 years ago, the lady that recruited me into Tupperware actually called me, and it was probably the hardest phone call she'd ever made in her life. And she was about to lose her house. And because that woman taught me how to make big money, she called me and she asked me to borrow $500 to help make her house payment. And her mentor then encouraged her to do that. And I said to her, and she was, I promise I'll pay you back. I said, how much is your house payment? And she told me, I said, come by, I have a check for you, the whole thing. And you're not paying me back. Because it's a gift. I've made millions because of her in the last 26 years. If you add up all of my income from the last 26 years, it's millions. What was $1,500 to me? That's what big money can do for you. And that's why big money is important to me. I swear to y'all, I don't live in a mansion. I have a very nice home, I think. I have lots of stuff. I drive a 13-year-old car because I'm not a car person. My husband drives a brand new one because it's important to him. It's not important to me. But I would give you the shirt off my back. I'm telling you, I love to give, and big money makes that possible. So you decide why you want big money. I wanted my kids to grow up wanting good stuff because that means they'd have to work hard. I didn't give it to my kids, but I wanted them to experience so they'd work hard and go get it for themselves. And so they could give to others. So this is why this me plus 3 is so important. So our expectation in this is one of the first things that it's at the end of this chapter, but I'm going to start it with because Robin Edwards joined our call. I started in October. I don't know if any of you know Robin. But Robin came to promote with passion at the beginning of October. And she had 2 parties on her calendar for the rest of the year. That's it. 2. And one thing that I'm going to ask you guys to be part of, and it's that we'll talk about each week in our 21 days to success, in our coaching calls, is 21 days to success. And 21 days to success is for you to make 3 contacts every single day and ask for what you want. Why am I so specific about that? Because so often we think a contact is, oh yeah, I'm selling Dove. You ought to try it. Did you ask a question? Mm-mm. If you don't ask a question like, could you use some extra money? Can I share with you about how you could get it? Or do you like chocolate? Does free chocolate sound even better? Do you like to get together with friends? Those are questions, but you ought to have a party. It's not, you're waiting for them to volunteer. You're throwing that seed out there and hoping they'll go, pick me, pick me. How many of you have been in the industry long enough to know that that doesn't happen very often? They don't say, pick me, pick me. They wait for you to invite them. Okay? So you got to ask for what you want 3 times a day. It can be by phone and it can be in person. I guess it could be in text. I'm not a huge fan, but I'm learning that the world today doesn't care if I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of text. I think it's harder to do business. It can't be in an email though, because email is not a conversation. People can just choose to ignore it. And a text, you know whether they're going to respond or not. it's almost live because you're in a conversation. But 3 times in a conversation, and you're going to write it down. You're going to go Monday, 1, 2, 3, Tuesday, 1, 2, 3. You're going to write down who you talked to and what you got, because you need to know your law of averages. How many of you have heard things like you can recruit, industry average is recruit 1 in 10, or industry average is you'll get 1 recruit from every 5 parties? How many of you realize you're not an industry average? I don't believe there is an industry average, but what's more important is what is your average? You may have to talk to only 5, or you may have to talk to 15. We've got to figure it out, right? We got to know what your average is so we can plan your business. I also want you to know you'll never be 100%. So I have 2 or 3 friends that are multi-millionaires in this industry. Multi-millionaires. They're personal friends of mine. They still don't recruit 100% of who they talk to. Industry best, meaning those people recruit about 1/3, so 1 in 3. But their team still grow faster, and their personal business still grows faster than yours. Why? Because they ask more people. Not because they get everyone they ask. So just know you're probably never going to be better than 1 in 3, because that's not human. There's no such thing as perfection, because this job isn't for everyone. I don't care how good you are at asking. It's just not for everyone. So I give you an out right now. So don't be, when you get a no, go, yay, I'm 1 step closer to my yes. You get another no, yay, I'm a step closer to a yes. You get one on the 3rd, you go, oh my gosh, I'm as good as the best in the industry, okay? But most of us aren't the best in the industry. We have to work to get there. So know that that's okay. But you can, I would say, as you work your business, 1 in 3 can become your average. But probably today it's between 1 in 5 and 1 in 10. Same with parties. If you have 10 people at your party, most of you are going to get either 1 party or 2 parties, right? But how many are you going to get 5 out of 10 on average? You know why, though? Because after you get 2 or 3, we get lazy. Would you agree? Oh, I got my 2. She's going to get her Miss Brown box. Instead of, oh my gosh, if I just booked 5, it'd be really easy to recruit her. Or recruit someone else because I have more parties I can hold. All of this you're going to be learning through this class. And I forget I'm not wearing a watch, so I've got to put a phone in front of me. So 21 days to success. And here's the rule. I'm going to tell you the Robin Edwards story. I haven't forgotten. If you miss a day, you have to start over. So if you go 9 days and you miss the 10th day, you're back at 1. We are trying to create a habit. Studies show it takes 21 days to create a habit. Also, doing 9 on Monday doesn't take care of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm going to give you 2 analogies. I'm sure you can relate to one. I'll give you the one I usually give second. I'll give you first since it's the beginning of the year with weight loss. If you're on a diet that says you can eat 5,000 calories a week, you can't eat all the calories on Monday and not eat anything Tuesday through Sunday. Doesn't work that way. But if you spread them out, you can survive, right? Maybe not on 1,000, but you know what I'm saying. I'm using easy math here. So we're creating, now if you do 9 on Monday, good for you. That means you're going for the Olympics. But it doesn't mean Tuesday you don't do it. Same thing on baseball. It's funny, I married a softball coach who's a pitching and hitting instructor, but I knew nothing about baseball before him. But I've always used it as an analogy because to me it's a pretty simple sport until you get into the depths of it. You hit the ball, run around the bases. He'd be really mad if he heard me say that. Anyway, but think about the best hitter. So we have this guy in Texas. His name's Josh Hamilton. We have another one, Prince Fielder. You know, everybody, if you watch baseball, you know who your heavy hitters are. You also know who your great pitchers are. People that hit the ball in baseball, they go to the batting cage every single day. I don't care if they're the very best one in the entire league. They still go to the batting cage every day. don't they? Anybody know enough about baseball that, yes, they go every day when they're in season. When they're wanting to win, they hit. I always tell people, on your party days, it's easy to get your 3 contacts because you'll see people. However, if you want to go to the Olympics, you'll still do 3 outside your party because guess what? Have you ever gone to a baseball game early? About 2 hours early, what do? Hitting practice, right? They still hit before the game. So think of your business, whether it's weight loss. That's where my head is. I'm on my Maui weight goal right now. So I'm on my Maui bod. So weight loss is mine. But whichever one kind of resonates with you the most, remember 3 a day. So back to Robin Edwards. She started. So every week she was so dedicated. And you know, you can get really frustrating when you only have 2 parties on your calendar and people are talking about their $1,000 party and this and that. And Robin got started and she missed a day. And she had to start over. Nothing new happened, let's say, in that first 8 days. I don't know the fun. So she started over. Then Robin, let's say, did another 7 days. And then she had to start over. And Robin started over again. She still only has 2 parties on her calendar. So Robin, she was determined. She's like one of my favorite people in the world because I love determination like this. She started. She's got 21 days to success. I said, Robin, don't let it eat you up. It's going to happen. Just do me a favor. Don't give up. Instead of looking at 21, look between this week and next week when we talk. 7 days. 7 days. Just do it. Came 14 days. Nothing. Came 15 days. Nothing. Between day 16 and 21, Robin booked 5 parties, 2 fundraisers, and got a recruit. What if Robin would have quit on day 15? Our success normally was coming the day we quit. So don't quit. I even had her write it up because I thought people aren't going to believe me. Because most of us would have given up, or gotten frustrated, missed a day. And Robin says in her thing, it was a long time coming. I didn't do 21 straight to start. I had to start over. So again, remember when I said there's no shame? We're heading for the Olympics. But you might not get there, but you're going to get closer and closer. But by the end, our whole class celebrated with Robin. That of what she accomplished. And it was such an inspiration that I had more people in that class complete 21 days than I had ever had in my history of doing promoted fashion. So that's called our 21 days to success. Remember though, you have to ask a question. It's not throwing seeds. It's just not telling people what you do. It's asking for what you want. And for some of you, that's going to be real difficult because you suggest telling people what you do and hoping they pick me. But you're going to see a huge change in your business. I'm going to ask each of you to spend some time between now and our next class, hopefully before your coaching class, setting your goals. If you're not a leader, I'm going to ask you, because it'd be almost crazy not to, choose January 31st as your promotion day. Why? Because whether you're in Quick Start or not, you're now in Quick Start Redo. Never again. Okay, I'm going to be really honest with you. I joined Deb 3.5 years ago. I have mentioned doing Quick Start Redo since the day I got here. We should do this. We should do this. We should do this. Let me tell you guys, if you're not excited, if you're in Quick Start, yay. If those of us, Jean, Sharon, Terry, I'm looking around, I don't know who all is not in there. It's pretty darn exciting, isn't it? Quick Start Redo. $100 for your first recruit, $125 your second, $150 for your third, $375 in January. Why would you not get 3 recruits this month? Why would you not sell $3,200 or at least $1,600 this month and become a leader? I say 16. I know it's only 15 for your team, but why miss that 5% bonus by $100? So always good for 16. I'm a real believer in not leaving money on the table. So I'm going to ask you to set your date for the 31st of this month. Every one of you, I'm asking you to trust me, recruit 3 this month. If anyone's mad at me in February that they've got 3 new people, I will gladly figure out a way to help you out with them, okay? I promise you're not going to be mad. I have people that'll recruit people and they don't even know why they're recruiting. They just know it's fun. It feels good, right? So set your goals and we can talk about those in our group calls. How are you going to make it? Some of you, you're still trying to get to Maui. You're trying to get a second trip to Maui, right? First trip, second trip. It's still possible. I don't care how far away you are. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it. I keep picking on Karen Miller. Karen Miller is calling from a hospital bed. I mean, Karen Griffin. Sorry, I've got 2 Karens. Wrong Karen. Karen Griffin. Jennifer Mercado. I don't know if Jennifer's on here, but I know Annette Entz is. And Jennifer Mercado became a manager last month. She's only been with us weeks. She became a manager, not a leader, a manager. She was in the hospital having surgery after Christmas. If there's a will, there's a way. I'm not saying you all have to be Superman like they're being right now, but if there's truly a will, there's a way. One of the things that's going to set you up for success throughout this program is asking for what you want and letting people know what to expect. And the very first thing that we're going to talk about today is your power statement. And that's on page 10 of your book. You'll notice, guys, I use this book more of an outline. You go back, read some of the notes in here, fill in things that you learned, but I figure you can read, so I'm not going to read the book to you. And if you can't read, we'll work on that at another time, okay? So what a power statement is setting the stage. So when I was taught to be a trainer, I was told the best way to train people and to keep their attention is to tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them, and then tell them what you told them. Your power statement is telling people what you're going to tell them. You're setting the stage for the party so they know what to expect. Most people don't like to be in the dark. They want to know what's coming up. They may not want to know the final last chapter of the book, but they kind of, how many of you buy a book without reading the little synopsis on the back? Or go to a movie without reading a review? Or, you know, what the plot is? We all do that, right? We want to know what to expect when we go. So your power statement, and this is one of your homework assignments, is to write your power statement. So what your power statement is it's telling your guests what to expect during the party. So what should a guest expect at a party? Well, first off, they should expect to have fun. If you're not having fun, they're not having fun, and it's really hard to get people to sign up for something that's not fun. Have any of you ever been to a really bad home party, like you could not wait to leave? It was like the boring thing in the entire freaking world. So I'm going to share a quick story with you. I'm a storyteller, if you haven't figured that out. I went to my very first, and let me just put a little disclaimer here. I love Pampered Chef products. I've been to great ones. But the very first one I went to, it was painful. The girls stood up there like, this is a chopper, chop, chop. This is a stove, heat food. This is whatever. But I was in the industry. I wanted to help my host. I purchased the chopper. This is probably 23 years ago. I get it. It comes in the mail. I'm all excited because I remember how she took that onion and just like mutilated it in no time. And, that's how I like my onion, like you get at the ballpark. So I take my onion. Well, she didn't teach me how to use it. I tried to put the whole onion in there. I mean, I did peel it. And it got stuck and crammed in there. And I probably said words that I shouldn't repeat on this, in a recording. And I'm digging it out with a knife, praying I don't chop my fingers off because the blades were sharp. I cleaned that baby, put it in the box, and swore I'd never go. Now, listen, I didn't say I'd never use my chopper again. I swore I would never go to another Pampered Chef party in my life. Not good. Because Pampered Chef was a great product, or is a great product, right? Well, anyway, about 2 years later, a friend of mine calls me. Her name's Cindy Reed, and this is probably 24 years ago, and says, Laura, I'm having a Pampered Chef party to come. I'm like, heavens, no. I am not putting myself through that ever again. That was the most important thing I've ever experienced in my life. Please, 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 I only need 2 more people to get this book for having 11 in attendance. This is how much I remember this conversation from 24 years ago. She lived about 45 miles from me. I said, okay, and I called my sister and I said, if I'm going to this, you're going with me, because at least we can have fun driving out there, you know? Well, I get there, and this lady is like flipping Martha Stewart. She is incredible. But bless her heart, she asked the worst question in the world when she picked up the chopper. Who here has one of these? I'm not a liar. I timidly, which I don't do many things timidly, raised my hand. She looks at me, mistake number 2, and says, don't you love it? I'm going, well, I explained my situation. She literally took me by the hand, brought me to the table, taught me to chopper. I wore that chopper out and bought 2 or 3 more since then, right? What changed? Did Pampered Chef change? The experience changed, right? So I was volunteering by that party. I want to do a party. I want to do a party. In fact, my Tupperware distributor said when they shared, I'm a little worried about how excited you are about this Pampered Chef thing. Like, I was selling it to everybody. I was excited. This lady told me, she said, I'm going to, at the beginning of our party, I'm going to teach you to use our product. I'm going to show you the value and how you can enjoy cooking. I'm going to ask you when you want to have a party, and I'm going to talk to you about the business opportunity. Guess what? I knew everything that was going to happen at that party. And if she wouldn't have asked me to have a party or join the business, my feelings would have been hurt, because she said she was going to. Now, I know we've all been to those parties where you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, when they ask me to have a party, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? How am I going to get out of it? I don't want to do a party. And I'm here to tell y'all, I don't do home parties. I've done 2 in my life, Pampered Chef and Christmas Around the World. That'll really date me. That was a long time ago. Why do I not do home parties? Because I figure my friends are only going to go to so many home parties a year, and I want them to come to mine. If they're going to a home party, I want it to be a chocolate party. If someone's going to ask them to join a business, I want it to be the chocolate business. If someone's going to ask them to spend their time hosting a party, I want them to host a chocolate party. Sorry, I know many of you love doing that. For me, from a business perspective, it does not make sense to expose my friends to let somebody else will, trust me. I'll go to parties. I'll buy it. I support the industry. It's huge. I love the industry. I buy from everybody. I'm not going to have my friends sign up because I've done so great in this industry to do something else. I want them doing it with me. Think about that next time you think about it. Not saying, it's just a suggestion, food for thought. Okay, so what is your power statement? When you start your party, are you telling people what to expect? That is what your power statement, and you're going to watch your people start to engage more because they know what, a lot of times the reason people lose interest in a party is because they don't know what to expect and they don't like the unknown. So there's a sample power statement in here, but I'm going to share with you what my power statement would be. It would change a little each time, but if I were to have a party tonight, this is something like how my power statement would go, and I want you to listen for the key points, okay? And then I'm going to ask you if you heard them. Hi, I'm Lori, and I just want to thank all of you for coming here tonight. I'm so excited about you being here as Angie's guest. And Angie, I just want to personally thank you because you have paid me the biggest compliment by inviting me into your home and introducing me to your friends. And you know what? I hope each of you will pay me that same compliment at the end of this party and have your own party and let me shower you with lots of free products and chocolate like I'm going to Angie. But also just to let me know you've had a great time. That's really important that you have fun tonight. That's my #1 priority. You're going to be tasting some fabulous products. You're going to be tasting products that you can't believe they put chocolate into. Who would have thought Cocoa Roma pasta sauce? Never in a million years, right? Especially if you grew up in a Southern household like me where it was just brown gravy or white gravy. That was about our only 2 sauces we put on anything. Also today, you're going to be able to share ideas with me of the ways you would use this product. But most of all, I hope you have fun. I hope you think about the date that you want to have a party and what products you would like to get for free or half price, because that is my goal, Angie. Remember, we've already talked about it, for you to get everything you want, either free or half price, because Angie's going for $1,000 party. She's going to get $200 worth of product, or actually today she's going to get $400 worth of product and 4 half price items. Do you think you could get everything you want for your half price with that kind of shopping spree? And also, as I'm doing this today, I want you to think about, what have you done in your life with business? You know, have you been in accounting? Are you a teacher? Are you a nurse? Are you a full-time stay-at-home homemaker, engineer of your home? You know, each of you could turn the skills that you currently have into a great business opportunity. I was 25 years old, without a college degree when I started in this industry. Before most of my friends had graduated or gotten out of grad school, I was making a 6-figure income. But you know what? The person that introduced me to this, she does it about twice a week and has driven 31 free cars thanks to her direct selling business. So it can be full-time, it can be part-time, it can even be sometime. But I'd love to show you that you do have what it takes to be successful. And I'll be talking to each of you about that before you leave. So let's get started with our first tasting. So, do you know what to expect now? You know that I'm going to be asking you to have a party and I'm going to be showing you what you get for free? How many of you did your mind immediately, even as chocolatiers already, go to where I said, think about what you've done in your life and how could you use it? How many of you actually did it happen? When we tell people to do stuff, guess what? The mind does it before they have time to think about it. So direct your people to what you want. I said, think about your date. I didn't say, do you want a date? Think about the date you want to have a party. Guess what they do? They start thinking. They have to tell their mind no after their mind has already said yes. And that's what your power statement needs to look like. Is that it says, hi, my name is Lori and I'm in to be your personal chocolatier tonight. Quick show of hands. How many of you have never been to a chocolate tasting party with Dove Chocolate Discoveries? Great, you're in for a treat this evening. I'll show you how to use our amazing products to create fabulous meals for your family. You're literally going to go home tonight feeling completely indulged. You're going to fall in love with so many of our items. The biggest dilemma is going to be which ones to choose. And when you find yourself here, be thinking of a date that you can have your own chocolate tasting party. My average chocolatier, my average host walks away from a party with maybe between $200 and $400 in free and half price items. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. What does it say? I got off sorry here. Think about what day of the week would work best for you. We'll go over the different theme choices as the night goes on. The only thing I'd change about that written one was I'd make sure I put something in there about the business, because I can promise you, I think 100% of you raised your hand when I asked who wants to make big money. You can't make big money without recruiting. Find me a millionaire in this industry that doesn't have a team. Can't do it by yourself. Find me someone that only does about 8 parties a month with a really big team that's a millionaire. You can do that. So recruiting really is our job at our parties, believe it or not, is not to sell chocolate. Our job is to use it. Dove is paying for your networking events. How many of you have ever been involved like in a BNI or a networking group that you have to pay to be part of? I've never done it. Why? Because this company and every company I've been with, well, not my first one, I had to pay for part of my host rewards. They pay me to be in a networking group. I'd rather give Annette $100 worth of free product instead of BNI $100 a week. And Annette's going to introduce me to 10 people that are personally going to taste my product right there, and I get to network with. I would rather give Kate $200 in free product and meet her 10 friends that Annette's never met before, then go back to that same BNI next month and see the same 10 people. Hopefully found 1 or 2 people to introduce me to. Kate's going to introduce me to 10 new people or 20. And Dove is going to pay my fee by paying for her reward. Right? That's the beauty of Party Plan, ladies and gentlemen. Your network is your party. That is your networking event. I'm not saying never go to a network meeting. I'm not saying never do an event. But wouldn't it be better to not have to do those things and just go to parties? where it's free? Every time you go to a vendor event, let's say a vendor event costs $100. Okay? You got to sell $400 worth of product to make $100. How many of you sell 400 on average at a vendor event? Doesn't happen. During that same time, you could have held 2 parties in that 8 hours and made 200. So now you've got to now you need to sell 1,200 because you need to make 300. You probably would have booked 4 parties to 6 parties at those parties. So you better book 4 to 6 parties at your vendor event. And you better have 6 strong recruit leads, because if you get 3 from every party, because you actually get to visit with them and learn about them and watch their facial expressions for more than 5 minutes. So if you're doing vendor events, do them with the idea of I'm doing this to build such a strong party lineup that I never do them again. Ever, ever, ever. And you don't have to do it. You can network for free. I can teach you how to walk through the mall and get just as many contacts as you can at a vendor event. It's free. I was poor when I started. Remember, I didn't even have a car. Walked 3 feet, 6 feet in the snow in Texas. It's free. We can do it, okay, together. So one of your, you can come off mute. I want to see if anybody has any questions about a power statement, because we've only got 13 minutes left. All right, Jean, I'm unmuting you. There you go.
My question about the power statement is how long it should be, because I've always told it should never be more than a minute or 2.
2 minutes. Mine was probably about 2 minutes. You get a lot of information in 2 minutes. This isn't your 30-second elevator speech. This is your power statement. They're 2 different things. Your 30-second commercial is what you tell people what you do. This is about setting the stage for your party. Okay, good question. Noelle? You had your hand raised?
Yes. No.
Oh, okay. It must have been from earlier. Any other questions? Okay. The other thing we're going to talk about today is the full service checkout. I love this. I never heard it dubbed this till I came to Dove. I think I always did it, but I never heard it under this title, I guess you would say. So, I want you to assume this is a host pack. And by the way, spend the money, use DCD hostess envelopes. Why? Because every time someone picks one up, they're going, oh yeah, that party. If you use a folder, you use a yellow envelope, you just hand them a catalog, they're not going to go, oh, I'm having a party. They're going to go, oh, there's that yellow envelope over there. I have no idea what it is. Stuck in the middle of it's an expense worth it. And when we get to the, one of our calls will be on hostess coaching. And by the way, I'm going to be sending you guys videos all throughout this course that I've put together over the last, they might be an hour long, they might be 30 minutes long. It is not mandatory, but I like to build a library of training for you. So if I did a class just on hostess coaching, you'll probably get that video. That way you can go back and look at it and dissect it, because we all learn differently, right? Some of you like to look at things, take it apart, stop it, start it, but it's not a mandatory watch. I just want to make sure you guys know that. So you're going to have your stack of four at every party host packs, because you're not through till you book 2. If you want more, book 4. I also have crazy, silly sayings. I'm not through until I book 2. If I want more, I'm going to book 4. Okay? Then you're going to have your 2 here and 2 here, because guess what? My recruiting and my hostess packs are exactly the same. I don't have 2 different things. Why? Because if I'm going to recruit you, I need to set your launch date. I need a host pack. If I book you, I need to share the information about recruiting to convert your party. So they're all the same. So I've got my only thing I would have sitting out for recruiting is just the little recruiting brochure as a reminder. I just wouldn't have it in my host pack at the party. Then I have my host pack, and then I have 3x5 cards. And the reason I do that is if I don't put my hand on all 3 of them, I know I'm shortchanging the guest. A great thing to do in the beginning when you're using this, if my hand, have a little sign, if my hand doesn't touch all 3 piles, please ask me for your free product. Your hand will touch all 3 piles. Okay? So your full service checkout is you're going to be doing their order, and the words I use to make sure that I get to sit with them is I literally say the words, please don't total your order. Food tax is a very odd thing in every state. So let me do the work for you. I don't care how simple it is in your state, it's harder than average tax. Food tax is really difficult. Or let me do the work and add in the shipping and the tax for you because I know the discount you're going to get since it's coming to the host. Use words that make them come sit with you. Second thing is, how many of you have people and they're just like shoving orders in? Right?
Yeah.
So what you say is when you're about to leave, I always like to set a little bit apart so I can have people's attention. Before I leave the room, I'm going to say, by the way, I want to give each of you great customer service. So if you'll come to me just one at a time, and if you're in a hurry to get out of here and there's someone visiting with me, just walk over and turn your order upside down. And as soon as I'm done with them, I'll pull from the bottom of the pile and I'll get to you next. And then when Sharon's finished, she'll come out and she'll say, Rachel, your turn. And then you can come in, Rachel. That way I'll be able to give you all the customer service you deserve. Guess what? Remember what I said earlier? People will do what you tell them to do. Not 100% of people, but most. This is a great way to get individual time with each person. So they come to me, and with their order, the first thing I do is ask questions. Did you have fun tonight? Things you think they're going to say yes to, or they're going to have to think about. What was your favorite product? Do you have friends that like chocolate? Wasn't it great to just have a girls' night out? Those are all questions that you're going to get positive, thought-provoking answers to. What we're doing is we're getting them out of what I like to call the no frame of mind, the NO. Want to have a party? No. Want to sell chocolate? No. We don't want to go there. Those two questions are to be removed from your vocabulary for the rest of your life. I'll slap your hand if I ever hear you say, want to have a party. That's called lazy. That's after we get our 2 or 3, what we start doing at a party. Want to have a party? Want to have a party? I've done it too. I know. I am guilty of that. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to say, this is how I use the full service checkout is, I'm going to say something like, Jolene, there's 3, before you leave tonight, I want to make sure that I share with you the 3 ways that I can give customer service. And one of them is, I don't know if you've ever thought about doing something like this alongside your family and other activities, but you know, you were so much fun tonight at the party. I love people that like to be a winner. You're like me, you wanted to win every game there was. And you know, with your competitive spirit, you would be such a rock star in this business. And my hand's on the recruiting brochure. And Jolene's probably gonna laugh and go, nah, that's not for me. I said, well, you know what, Jolene? Let me just give you this brochure, and how about you and I don't say no to something you don't know. Because 26 years ago, if I hadn't done this, I don't even know where my life would be today. What do you have to lose? And while you're thinking about it, another way that I can service you is by not just letting you come shop, but giving you your products free, by letting me introduce it to your friends. But also I like to service you by giving you said you had a fun time tonight. Don't you? You're not going to hold your friends hostage and not let them have the same fun you are you? Well, no, I don't want to hold my friends hostage. And, well, then let's set a date that we can get together. And not hold them hostage. Would tonight's Tuesday, and I happen to have next Tuesday open, would that be soon enough to let your friends in on this great idea? And only if she says no to the first 2, am I going to have to go to the 3rd one. And I'm going to say, well, since. And if she says yes to one of them, how do I touch it? Since you, and I'm touching it, are going to invite your friends, you don't have to give me referrals because I'm going to get to meet them live. That's even better. Or if she says no to the first, well, since we're not going to be able to get together right now, I know you still would like some of your friends to experience this. And if you'll give me just 2 names of friends that you think might help this, I have a special gift for you tonight. And it might be a graham cracker. It might be a little one of our sample bags with a sea salted caramel. It might be whatever. It's just a sample. And with one of them say yes to a party or the business, I'm going to turn this into a full-size box for you. Wouldn't you pay $12 for a box of cinnamon dusted almonds if someone booked a party for you? One of their referrals or joined your team? Isn't that cheaper than a vendor event or placing an ad in the paper? And guess what? So then I say the best way for me to turn this in is for when you leave here, call them on your way home and say, hey, I had so much fun at your chocolate party that I know you're going to love it. So this girl named Lori is going to be calling you to tell you about it because I know you're going to want to do this. Because then when I call, I'm going to say, hey, has Jolene have you talked to Jolene? Now we've got a relationship. I'm not cold calling. Okay? All right. We have 4 minutes left. Let me give you your homework. And those of you that are at work that need to go, you're on a strict schedule. You can hang up, but everybody will have their homework. Don't forget, you're emailing me. And until I get everybody's name in my system with their email address, don't forget to sign your emails, who you are, because I don't know all the email addresses. You're going to be telling me the best thing you learned about this class. I would love for you to share your power statement with me. And then you're going to tell me, hopefully, if you haven't already, which of the coaching groups you're going to be in. Monday at this time, Tuesday at this time, or Monday evenings at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. And if I need to add another one, because I won't have more, probably, I'd say not more than 6. Maybe I could do 7. Usually something happens and someone can't be there. But I don't like to do it more than 6 because it takes about 10 minutes per person. And if you're doing it on your lunch hour and you need to jump on and just say, I need to go first because I only have 30 minutes, we can always do that, okay, as long as the whole class is in that situation. But you're going to learn so much from each other sharing during this time, okay? So everybody understand their homework? Best thing you learned, your power statement, preferred. You don't have to, but I would love, what I'll do is I'll read it. And if I see something you're missing, I'll let you know, or I'll just say, great job, or, you know, it's a great way for us to share. And then which group you're going to be in. And don't forget, 21 Days to Success starts today. So that is the end. I'm going to stop the recording. And